What is going on, everybody? Welcome to a devblog for my life simulation game that I'm making in GameMaker. It's been a while since I've made any type of update video, so I figured I'd go ahead and do one. I've made a lot of progress, so let's go ahead and get into it. One of the first things that I actually worked on after my last video was multiple pawns, and I know I had that going last video, but it's a lot better. Basically, there's a new system where the game is keeping track of pawns even if you don't own them or control them. So like this guy's my pawn, so I can spawn in another pawn right there, this guy totally nude, and basically the new system is these pawns can work as kind of like you own them or as an NPC. And if they're an NPC, they might not be in the same room as you, and if they're not in the same room as you, it still keeps track of everything, their skills, their needs, their mood, everything's being tracked and simulated. So if you can contact them somehow, like through a phone call, well, your relationship with them could be modified and altered, and then when you spawn them, it just takes all this data from a big DS grid and puts it in an object called object pawn, and you can interact with them as such. So basically the system's way better. So anyway, here's our two pawns, and we can spawn in a ton of them. I'm not gonna try to spawn in too many, but I might just spawn in a bunch. So yeah, it works, and they can all be controlled however you want to control them, basically. So you just click on it, and then they can walk around, and they can now interact with each other with this new ugly little icon here that I'm sure I'll change, called relationship, and everything's ugly right now, but that's okay. So we have this chick right now. Let's move her over here, and we have this guy right here. So we're gonna tell him to go talk to her. So I'm gonna right click, and we're gonna just choose talk. So he's gonna walk over, kind of have a slow seizure there, and start talking to her. So yeah, this is another little system. Ignore the number right there, that was just for testing purposes, as well as the icons. Basically, there's a bunch of different conversations that they can have, and based on the one that's chosen, based off, you know, variables and such, it'll display different icons. So they just finished up their conversation, and her name is apparently Dragon Roscoe. And this is just a little relationship stat. I need to make this, you know, more user-friendly, but basically that's her name, and we like her 7% out of 100. And yeah, so every time we talk to her, the conversation has a chance of going good or bad. If it goes bad, you're not gonna like her as much. If it goes good, you're gonna like her more. And that conversation is dependent on a lot of things: their personality, their mood, etc. So yeah, we have a little dialogue and talking thing. So okay, he really likes this girl, and yeah, so that's a little something that I've been working on the side, along with a brand new action and queue system. Now this is pretty sweet. Let me go ahead and start a new game. Let's go ahead and get in this. Okay, run over here. So yeah, one thing I've really been working hard on is the ability to queue up different actions, especially now that you can control multiple pawns. You don't want to control their every move all the time. So I added a queue system, so we can go ahead and walk or sneak over here, or walk slowly. And notice here on the bottom left, we have this little pawn icon where you're going to see actions queue up over here. So let's go ahead and sneak here, and then let's walk over here. Let's run up here, and then walk back down here. So you can see these actions have queued up. Ignore that little number on top, but yeah. So he goes ahead and runs through the different queues. Now what's cool is we can also, let's just kind of queue up a few things. We can delete these different queues. So I had those two queued up, and I deleted them, and yeah, that works fine. So yeah, that's our little queue system. And you know, of course, we can have multiple pawns, and she could have her own queues, he could have his own queues, and they can all be doing different things. What this is leading into is where they'll eventually make, you know, their own free will decisions, and things will queue up automatically. But that's a little bit down the road, not too far, but it's there. So with that queue system, we can go into buy mode, and we can buy a refrigerator, and we can buy a stove, and let's go ahead and buy a table too. So I'm gonna have this guy install a fridge and install a stove. And so one thing that's pretty cool is the queue system will chain a bunch of actions. So if we tell him, for example, to make a meal, he's going to grab ingredients from the refrigerator. Oh, got a health problem. What's wrong? Nothing. Oh, okay. Probably in her. It's a little glitchy. Yeah, she has a headache. Okay, so yeah, if I tell him to go to make a meal, he'll go to the fridge, he'll grab ingredients, and then if there is a stove, he'll go to the stove and he'll cook those ingredients, and then he'll eat it. So let's go ahead and have him make a meal, and then he'll go to the stove and he'll cook that bad boy up, and then he'll actually just stand right there and eat the hamburger. Now, what's also cool is if we throw a table into the mix, they will just start to make kind of logical decisions. So now if he makes a meal, he'll grab the ingredients, he should go to the stove, and after he's done making the meal, he'll actually just walk over to the table, and he walks kind of away from it, but you know, whatever. But basically they'll walk to the table and they'll eat the meal there, if there's a table. So let's go ahead and have him do it again. Now what's cool is, what do we do if both of these pawns want to make a meal? Well, they'll actually wait for the other person to get done. So he's cooking. Well, she's gonna wait till he's done cooking. He's gonna go over there, and yeah. So they're just gonna wait for each other, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So that's our action and queue system, and it's pretty cool, right? So we can go ahead and make a normal meal, and so we can like cancel in the middle of it. So he's gonna go over here and cancel that, and it all just kind of cancels. So yeah, that's you know, that was really what I've been working on the past couple months, is just kind of perfecting that system. It's still a little buggy, it's still a little glitchy, but it's coming along quite nicely. I also threw a workbench in the mix. It's kind of ugly in the icon, but it doesn't do anything right now. But I did design all these graphics, which I know they're not the best, but they work, I guess. They do work. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's all that I've really been working on. But I will say this game is a lot of fun to work on, and it's getting pretty feature rich. Of course, the career system works fully. The skill system, you can learn skills. You have a mood system where things affect your mood. You have a pretty expansive health system. It's a little glitchy, but that's okay. So with different body parts, with a little med kit, you have a fully working inventory and clothing system. You have different needs. Oh, that's something. Does it work? I don't know if this works, but I think a toilet works now. And there's a 30% chance that you'll poop. So his bladder's a little low. I think I can use the toilet now. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, toilet works too. Cool. You're gonna walk over here. Okay. So, yeah, we have all these different features. We have time, we have days of the week, we have months, we have years, we have weather, with a fully working temperature system. Again, mood lits up here. We have a creation and build mode system where we can create rooms, which each room has its own temperature. We have wallpaper, floors, and doors, and windows, and utilities, and plumbing, or heating and cooling system where you can heat things up and cool them down, and electric and plumbing on the way, and a life pad that shows you different stats about your character. So it's getting pretty feature rich, as I said earlier, and I think it's gonna be fun when it is eventually done. So thank you guys for following the project. Thank you for your encouragement. Leaving comments and likes and everything means so much. And if you're not already, please follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Wizardy. You can follow me on there. I post updates almost every day, or at least every other day, about this game. I'm always posting things on there as far as what I'm working on. So once again, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next video.